What is the most effective way to proclaim the good news? Very often we think the good news is best proclaimed by words, especially through philosophical arguments, through polemics. We think that if we are able to argue with someone about the truth of our faith, the truth of Jesus, they will be converted. My dear brothers and sisters, philosophical, theological, intellectual arguments are only helpful for those who have faith. It is not to say intellectual studies of faith is not important. It is very important for those who want to grow in their faith. But very few are really converted simply because we have beautiful, lofty arguments about our faith. If this were true, then all intellectuals, all great men, all will have faith in Jesus. The truth is, whether you are non-intellectual, a simple man, you can be the president, you can be a great scientist, and yet you still have faith in Jesus. But not all have faith. That's the reason why when we bring a group of people together trying to argue about their faith, we get no agreement. Simply because many of us in polemics, we are trying to find fault with the other person's argument rather than truly listening humbly with docility, with openness to what the person is saying. The only way to really proclaim Jesus, not through the arguments that belong to philosophy, or through the demonstration of the power of the Spirit. This is very true even in preaching. When you preach the homily, when you give a talk, there will be some people who will be inspired, some will be enlightened, but there will be some who will not be happy. There will be some full of criticisms. There will be some who will be unconverted. It doesn't mean, therefore, that even if a preacher can preach eloquently, all will be inspired. Perhaps many are inspired, but there will be also many, their hearts are hardened. And sometimes even the preacher might not be a great preacher, but lives have been changed simply because of one word the preacher has said, and that has touched the heart of the person who was listening. The truth is, when we listen to a homily, we all have our own needs, our own prejudice. And therefore, if the homily, if the words the preacher speaks could sing with us, then we are inspired. And not every preacher can appeal to every person's need, because there is a variety of needs, variety of interest, a different spectrum of looking at life. What then is a better way to bring about conversion? The best way to really bring Jesus to others is to touch their hearts. Before you can allow their minds to be open, you need to open their hearts first. That's the first step. Don't go and theologize with someone who has no faith. You must win them over by your love, by your sincerity. It's for this reason in the Catholic Church, humanitarian works, works of mercy, of charity, they are very important, critical, essential, intrinsic to the proclamation of the gospel, because that is the first way we open the hearts of people to know Jesus. He must first touch their hearts. Then secondly, it's not enough let them see the demonstration of the power of the Spirit in good works, we must touch them by our transformed life. We can preach all we want to say, we can teach, but if our lives are not transformed, if our lives are not like Christ, no one will believe us. When people come to know who we really are, how proud and how arrogant we are, how selfish, then people will lose faith. Demonstration of the Spirit is first what the Lord has done for us, and then how our lives are being transformed. That's the greatest sign. The greatest miracles is not physical healing, all these things. The greatest miracle is that God can change us and change our hearts. My dear brothers and sisters, this is the process to open the hearts of people. And if the hearts are still not open, who is a loser? Not us. Those of us who are proud, we will deprive ourselves of the power of God at work in us.